You are entering the cosmos.
Hi.
Hello. It's kindness mob time. It's a good kind of
I'm
mob. It's the only kind
I'm
of
ex
mob I like.
yes.
Or
Yes, we need
flash
more.
mobs. I like flash mobs too, I think.
Those are fun. Those
Those
are
are
fun.
fun. Maybe the kindness mob could do a flash mob. We'll have to ask them. That would be
That would
so
be
cool.
fun.
I
So
think they
yeah,
sort of do it. Yeah.
so let me just explain a little bit. So Tyler, who is going to be coming on, started what is called the Kindness Mob on
Hmm.
TikTok. And people nominate videos to go on, and then he chooses one and he posts it. And then everybody in the Kindness Mob goes and gives support and good wishes and
Yep.
shares it, or
Hmm.
whatever they do at the time, whatever they choose to do at the time. But it's all
Right.
about positivity. It's all
Hmm.
about how everybody could use some positivity in their life, how the
Really.
world needs more positivity. And I ran across them one day and I was like, this is interesting, how refreshing, first of all.
Yeah.
Because we know TikTok can be brutal.
There are
And
really bad trolls out there, and
yeah,
these are good trolls.
yes,
Hmm.
yes, they're good trolls. Yes, that's a good way to explain it. So I hit him up and here we are. Well, I talked to you about it. We've been waiting because we really wanted to do it. And
Yeah. I mean, the
it's
world is
exciting to
just
have a positive, really just nothing but positivity, about
it's really great. And like you're this magician. Everybody knows you're like this magician who just sort of gets like these awesome guests. And this is the exact type of guest for this type of time and era and venue, right? The internet, 2023,
absolutely.
emerging out of the quarantine era where people have felt so depressed, so disconnected. There's all kinds of strife in the world. There's war. There's all this negativity. People are really feeling isolated and suffering. And so here's somebody who steps forward, almost like this beacon of light,
I
right?
know, right?
And he's like, no, we don't have to have just bad trolls and bad mobs. We can have a kindness mob. We can actually have, and there's being like, yes, well, let's warm our hands and feet by the fire of the kindness mob. I mean, do
Right?
you do you remember the first encounter you had with Tyler? How you came across him?
So I was scrolling, as we know I do a lot on TikTok.
Which
It
is
was
also
early too,
working. When you're an executive producer, that's also
yeah,
working because you're looking for talent, right?
right. So
Mhm.
it was earlier on when we first were like testing the waters of TikTok, and I was
Mhm.
getting kind of thinking, I don't know if this is going to work for us because I'd
Mhm.
see the negative stuff, or the
So
negative
much of it, yeah.
trolls or what have you. But then I kept going, and then I came across one of Tyler's videos talking about another video and about nominating and how that was
Mhm.
the one he chose, and go on there, give him some love. And I was like, this I could get into.
You're like, "I'm addicted to this." Yeah.
So then I fell down the Tyler rabbit hole and had to watch
Mhm.
like almost every video, and followed through to some of the videos they had mobbed and checked out those, and just to get a feel. And then I brought it to you, and I was like, we got to do this. So it took us a while for me to get back to it, but yeah.
Yeah, this is really cool. And so there's a video that we're going to play before we bring Tyler up, which is going to sort of like, warm us up to what the kindness mob really is and introduce us, right? Do you want me to play it now?
Yeah, perfect.
All right. I love this video, by the way. It's so cool.
Stop scrolling. It's kindness time.
Have you ever heard of the kindness mob?
The kindness mob.
The kindness mob.
The kindness mob.
Hi, I'm Tyler, and welcome to the Kindness Mob. So everybody hates internet trolls, right? But did you know there's actually good ones?
Please join in on the kindness mob.
The Kindness Mob is a group of people like you who like to leave happy comments on people's posts.
I love the kindness mob. Go follow them and mob people with me. I think that it's one of the highlights of my day.
It's the kindness mob. And I've found some really awesome accounts this way too.
Thank you to the kindness mob for highlighting our video.
Yesterday was so exciting. We mobbed a video that got over 400 comments.
I'm super excited to be a part of this community and doing what you all just did for me today for other people.
It was a wonderful surprise to wake up to hundreds of such kind, motivating comments from all of you.
It feels surreal that you picked me and sent a whole mob of people my way. And I loved it. I needed it. Thank you.
So what the kindness mob does is they receive nominations and then Tyler will make a video and tell us who to mob. So I made that video yesterday on Wednesday. Today is Thursday. Do you want to know the last thing that I thought would happen would be? That today on Thursday, I would be the recipient of a kindness mob. And let me just tell you, the comments, the love, it just completely made my day. Now I know, being the recipient of a mob, how much it means to somebody.
Why don't you add the kindness mob and come join us? I promise you're going to have fun.
Thanks for your help with this mob. I will see you in the next one. And until I see you again, please remember kindness. Kindness for everyone. Kindness for everyone, always. I love that it's on the shirt now.
Stop scrolling.
Awesome.
I want one of those shirts, and it's so cool
I know,
to
I
feel
want one
that.
too.
And I love like seeing how many people have been affected by this. I mean, they said like one even got like 400 comments, which that is incredible. That is amazing. Imagine like signing into your TikTok and you see
I know.
400 comments by all
And they're all good.
strangers, and they're all good, and you don't have to
Usually-
worry about.
Usually if you come on and there's a lot of comments, you're like, oh no, somebody started something in the comment section. You're
Right.
expecting some kind of a debate going on or something. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
exciting.
you're like, what did I say? Oh my gosh, am I in trouble? And instead it's like, you're amazing, you're awesome. And it's like, wow, this is really, so I can't wait. Let's bring Tyler up. What do you
Bring
think?
him on up.
Tyler of the Kindness Mob.
Hello, Cosmos Creative TV. How's it going? Em and Renee.
We're good. We're excited to have you here.
Thank
So
you.
I have the very first question. How did you start this? I know it was on
Oh,
TikTok.
man. Yeah. That's a great question. It's a big question. There's a bit of a story, but I mean, for the most part, it was just an idea that I had starting this new year, thinking about like, what do I want to do creatively this new year? And I've come from a long history of content creation. I make a lot of funny videos. I make a lot of marketing videos for other companies. And I was a little bit tired of, it sounds super cheesy, but I was just like, I've been making videos for a couple decades to like sell widgets, or just to like promote myself. And I was just like, it would be so cool to think of a creative idea that I had energy to do for a long time because it was cool and helping people. So that was all. Oh, I love that we can see the comments. That's
Yes,
so
yes.
Yeah,
fantastic.
select comments. So not every comment, but my
You
favorite.
guys are so high tech here.
Very high tech. Yes.
Well, that was kind of the theme of what I wanted to look into for 2023. And then it was January 2nd, and it was late at night, and I was just thinking about Facebook, really. I was thinking about how frustrating it is that the power that one negative comment can have.
Right.
If you're a creator, which you both are, the power that one negative comment can have can outweigh thousands of positive
Absolutely.
comments.
Absolutely. That's the one that we remember. You log in, you see all this nice stuff,
Yeah.
everyone's encouraging, and you get one, even if it's not that mean, even if it's just sort of like so-so, like, you're just crushed and it's all
Yep.
you can
Or
think
you're like
about.
unsure of what they mean.
Right. It's like, or
It's
you
ambiguous. Then you're like,
yeah.
And then you have the bandwagon or mob mentality of when you start getting a handful of negative comments, people see those and they don't see any consequences, and they
Right.
think, oh, I'm free to just voice whatever negative, terrible thing I want without any repercussions.
Mhm.
And so they do, and it builds on itself and it builds on itself, right? And I was just thinking of that as just like, man, and it was just a super simple thought. And stuff like this has been done, right? This is not, yeah, I don't have a monopoly on kindness, but, and may I never, right?
right.
But I was just laying there late at night and I was just like, man, imagine how cool it would be if I had a group of, say, let's think crazy. Let's say like 100 people where every day we went to a different video anonymously and just spammed them with like 100 comments. Because again, as a creator, think of what a cool day it is when you get 10,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
sometimes you get 4 or 5 comments and it's like, that was so cool. Like that really went well.
Mhm.
But you get 40 or 50 and you're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Absolutely.
Imagine 100, right? That was my goal from the very beginning, was let's see if we can get a group where we could almost guarantee 100 comments on any video that we wanted. And from there, I'll tell you, I had a moment of hesitation because I've been in branding and marketing for a couple decades. And so the wheels start turning. I start buying domain names. It was the kindness trolls for a minute.
Mhm.
I'm buying domains and I'm on Amazon and I'm putting stuff in my cart for t-shirts and hats about kindness and stuff. And then I actually physically just got exhausted. I got tired and I just sighed and I didn't hit purchase. And I'll never forget this moment because I said to myself, really, dude, like you're going to do this to yourself again?
Mhm.
Because I've chased creative rabbits my
White
entire
whales.
life.
Yeah.
White whales. Yeah. Just like
Moby
these,
Dick.
I have another idea and I'm going to chase it out for a few months and, you know, it might come to nothing. And then I do that again. And it's exhausting, right? And I had the thought, this idea, like, yes, I am tired of doing this to myself, but this idea is different because it doesn't have me at the center. It's not about making money or getting famous. Like, imagine how cool it would be if this worked. That was literally the driving thought that led me to hit purchase on those first couple t-shirts and buying domains and setting up a website and the channel and everything. Was how cool would it be if this actually worked? And guys, within the first 2 weeks, we had hit that 100 person a day, you know, goal, where I was thinking maybe we could get there in the first like 6 months. And people just rallied to this idea. And we almost immediately had a group of at least 100 people. Now I've got some stats here.
Yeah, I wanted to know how many people are actually participating in the mob now.
Yep. I keep in the midst of having 4 children, family, and I just changed jobs 3 weeks ago. So things have been super crazy right now. So I'm keeping very limited stats, but I can tell you that we've done about 116 mobs since January 3rd. We have conservatively left 35,420 positive comments on videos, which is an average. This is the number that I'm really always mostly paying attention to, that I'm just so thrilled with our community for. We're running currently an average of 311 comments per mob.
That's huge. That is just, yeah, I mean, it's like life-changing. It's
It is.
life-changing.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Tyler, is kindness a contagion?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
I think so.
absolutely.
I think
Yeah.
so.
And that,
When some people see it, they want to get on board the movement.
yep.
Yeah.
There's been two kinds of people that have joined the mob. One are people who have said, this is a great idea, I want in. And then I would say even more so, the other kind of person is somebody, I see this comment all day, every day. People are like, I've been doing this for years
Really?
by myself,
Right.
and I never knew there was a community of people I could do this with. So we
Mhm.
call them freelancers. They've been
Honorary members.
Yep, they've been freelancing kindness for years, but when we do it together, the impact grows exponentially.
Right, exactly. So how can people join and do it together? How can these freelancers come together? They go to your TikTok at
Mhm.
the Kindness Mob, right?
That's it. Yep. Yeah, that's it. Right now, we're only on. Well, I have an Instagram account. Someday, my dream is to be able to do this for every single social media platform.
Mhm.
It's not a good business model in terms of scalability, because the videos really need to be produced for each platform specifically.
Mhm.
So I just don't
Yeah.
have that in my. I just don't have the energy to be able to do that. It's been enough of a commitment to just make these for TikTok on a regular basis. But I would love to be mobbing people on Facebook and be mobbing people on Instagram or wherever. But as of today, just on TikTok at the
Mhm.
Kindness Mob. And just like Renee said, if you just follow our account, that's really it, because you'll see when I do a mob, and there'll be a button to click to go to that person. I always circle the video that we're going to comment on. In fact, just a couple days ago, I posted a how-to. We've gotten big enough that it was about time to put out a few guidelines for kind of what we're looking for nomination-wise and best practices when doing that. Hey, Ryan Brickley, I know that guy.
And Molly too. Molly's also
Molly's in
here.
here too? Okay.
Yeah, that's right. You got some of your mob members here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the world, like especially after 2020, is hungry for kindness and coming together. Unity, I think, is the word I'm trying to think of.
Yep.
We need it really badly. I just want to for anybody that's not on TikTok, just so you know, because I know a lot of our stuff gets a lot of comments, but on TikTok, most people like it or they just view it. You don't get the comments that you do engaging in a conversation like you do on a Facebook thread. It's totally different. So to get 100, like you said, 4 or 5, you're like, wow, they're interested. And then
Mhm.
to get over 100 or 300 or 311, you said, is just really over the top for TikTok. Like it's amazing. I just wanted to explain that for people who aren't.
Right. Yeah, that's really important to
Some of
figure
my
out. Yeah.
favorite videos are, we try and do it all anonymously, and we're always talking like, hey, don't tag us. Don't say anything about the Kindness Mob in the comments. We truly want the person that we're mobbing, to wake up and be just flooded with all these positive comments, because that just elevates you.
Mhm.
That said, some of my favorite videos have been when they find it slips, maybe somebody messaged them, or maybe somebody's new to the Kindness Mob and tags us because they're just trying to share the love,
Mhm.
and those people will come to our channel and then maybe make a shout out video or something like that. And it's really cool to hear a firsthand experience of what that was like from their perspective. There's been several of those videos that I've saved, and it's definitely keeps me going. Just, the firsthand account of that person saying, yeah, I was here in my day, or I was experiencing this in my life, and then boom, this happened. And now, and to see the real change that we're having, it's not just like a fluffy, fun, feel good sort of thing. It's like actually changing people's lives for the better.
Sure is. I fell down
and
the rabbit
ours
hole hard.
Well, right. And like everybody who that's why it's like such a win-win-win, because everybody who participates in it their day, I mean, it's changing their lives too. Just that exercise of finding, you know, a nice thing to say about anybody. And that's our motto, right? Kindness for everyone always.
I
There's
love that.
always a way to be kind to everybody.
Right, exactly. And you know what's interesting? I resonated so much with your initial statement of the origin story, where you were feeling that exhaustion. And then when you were doing something for somebody else, you're not just branding your own endeavors, you were thinking outward. A lot of people do get more motivated and feel so uplifted once they're connecting with others and buoying other people's spirits. It's almost like you get this adrenaline shot or this B12 shot when you see the impact outside of yourself. Is that one of the things that you've noticed from some of the other members of the mob, that they're almost more energetic because they're affecting change in other people's lives, even strangers' lives?
Yep. Yeah, well pointed out and well said, because I definitely received messages from mobsters who were like, "Hey, I've been doing this for a couple weeks, and let me tell you like specific ways that my life has changed." You know,
Right.
like I'm noticing this about my personality just by engaging in this, like 2 or 3 minutes a day, you know, activity.
Yeah, I proudly announced to my husband after I had found you that I had become a mobster. I'm in the mob now, so
Yep, you're in a mob.
You're in the mob now.
Change how you shall address me.
We had, usually I start most of my videos off with everybody hates internet trolls, right? But did you know that there are good ones? Last week I started a video with, "Hi, my name's Tyler, and I run the biggest group of trolls on TikTok. And what we do is people nominate videos, and then we go and troll them. And sometimes we leave hundreds of comments trolling these people. It's a ton of fun." And like, let that hang out there. And then now the difference between what we do and what you might be imagining we do right now is that we troll people with kindness. And that video got so many comments of people like, "I was so mad for the first half of that until you
Yep.
said the part
You
about
dragged them in.
kindness." Yeah.
Because we've all been burned
They're
by
ready
the
to
bad
fight.
ones. Yeah. You know,
Yep.
we've all been burned by the bad ones. Do you have any specific memories, Tyler, that stand out that might have fueled some of this fire for you? Were there any specific incidents in your life or in people's lives who were close to you? Because I can think of a lot of, you know, impelling moments in my life where somebody online that I didn't even know was able to sort of commandeer my serenity.
Yeah. Yeah. That's such a great way to say that too. Like they just take ownership of, right?
Yeah.
Like your mindset and
It's hijacked. Your whole
it's
day is
hijacked.
hijacked. Your identity is
Yeah.
hijacked. You think differently about yourself. And so it's so cool because nature abhors a vacuum. So the fact that you're going in there and you're sort of using the same tactics that a
Yeah.
scammer or a
Yeah.
spammer would do,
I
or a
love that.
troll,
Yeah.
but you're just turning it on its head. It's almost like some kind of a warfare where
Yeah.
you have your own arsenal of positive weapons to sort of napalm the negativity. And I just love that because you know, the absence
Killing them
of the
with kindness.
negativity isn't enough. Yeah, you're killing them with kindness, right?
Yeah.
And I love that.
Trolls.
And
I mean,
the trolls, yeah. What is your saying? Is it be kind to everyone always?
Kindness for everyone always.
Kindness for everyone always. I
That's
love
Gotta
that
get
because
ourselves some t-shirts, Renee.
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna have to. Where can people buy those t-shirts, by the way? You do have merch.
Thekindnessmob.com.
Ah,
Okay.
Let me
Wow.
double check that it's not kindnessmob.com. I think it's thekindnessmob.com. And look at that. The shirt is the first thing there.
Okay.
excellent.
So
I
everyone.
appreciate that. I've told all of our mobsters once about every 2 months, I let them know like the state of our finances. Like, hey,
Mhm.
our overhead is basically like $35 a month, you know? So don't stress out. I'm not trying to get rich, you know, but if you
Right.
want to have the mug or the shirt or something, that is appreciated.
Right.
That's nice.
Absolutely.
So you
Yeah.
said you started in January of this year?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
Even
surprising. That's so
yeah.
recent.
Yep.
And you were only hoping for 100. How many followers do you have just on TikTok?
I was
Roughly.
yeah, I had no goals for followers. We just hit
Right.
20,000. couple weeks ago.
That's incredible. I mean, that's
That was really
absolutely
exciting.
amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have any what do you attribute that to? I mean, I know you've been in marketing and branding before, so you clearly have access to some of the regular tricks of the trade,
Yep.
but how much of it is organic interest in kindness mobbing and how much of it is kind of your know-how?
I've oh, that's a great question. I hope most of it's organic, right? I Somebody asked me that question in a little bit more devious way, like a month ago or something. Like, do you feel like it detracts from like the kindness mob? You know, that you're like using marketing and sales sort of tactics to grow it. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Listen, like this is what I'm good at, you know, and
Right.
this is what I've been trained for. So I'm going to use every tool that I have to grow this community because I have never felt more confident demanding that someone buy something. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like asking for the sale, if you will,
Mhm.
is different when you're selling a washing machine than when you're telling people to take 2 minutes to go be kind to somebody. I've
Yeah.
It's changed me from a sales and marketing point of view. So I am definitely trying to be really smart about posting schedules and keywords and metadata and even influence. Yeah, I mean, thank you for this interview. Even, you know, like this is a big
No,
part
thank
of all
you.
that.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and we're gonna get some new mobsters today. We already have people saying
Ah,
they're already going over there to TikTok now and they're following you. Now you're a father of four, so clearly you're
Yeah.
very interested in the next generation. And we want the next generation to be compassionate, kind, and really reach out and to connect to others. I- When you talk to your kids about that, like what is their response to the kindness mob?
I'm so glad you asked me that because that's been one of the more rewarding aspects of this is seeing
I
my
bet.
children respond to it.
Mhm.
So there's the heart hands emoji, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the yellow heart emoji if you're
Mhm.
on Android, because I don't think you have heart hands on Android.
Hmm.
So those are the two emoji that when I'm telling people don't tag us, I'm also saying use one of those if you really want to like communicate that you're part of the mob. And
Mhm.
so you'll see those on the person's
little
video that
code.
we're mobbing. Yeah, a little just a secret. So everybody's kind of looking around in the comments section being like, I know where they came from. Like we're part of the same group.
Yeah.
And my kids love at the end of the day going through on my phone and they'll go through and like every single one of those that has
Oh,
the secret,
Oh
you
my
know,
that's
gosh.
kindness mob
awesome.
That's
emoji.
so cool.
And just the questions from them. Did you do a mob today, Dad? And Dad, who did
Mm.
you mob today? And can I
Oh,
see
they're
the
holding you
comments?
accountable.
Yes. Yeah, there's that too.
They're the accountability
That's
partners.
awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you that myself, it's very uplifting to go in, even just to see your videos, and then I kind of follow off to see who you mobbed and what, and it's a highlight. Like I know
Mm.
if I'm going on and I'm getting kind of like trolling and people are negative, I'm just gonna go to the kindness mob, and then it's
Yeah.
uplifting. So that's what it does, like for somebody like me on the outside looking in or
Okay.
participating, but still from
That's
a,
awesome.
what has it done for you personally?
It's a whole mixed bag. I mean, it really has been life-changing from a mindset point of view, from a creativity point of view. It's one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's changed how I look at the world. I mean, not to like
Mhm.
paint it with too broad a brush, but it really has that our motto, right? Kindness for everyone always. Believe it or not, I wrestled with for a few days. Like I'm thinking
Mhm.
about like from a pretty philosophical point of view, you know, like is that the person that I am?
Mhm.
And even if not, is that, you know, could that be my goal? And is that what I should be encouraging everyone else towards? And so, yeah, I spent a lot of time kind of thinking over that. And at the end of, yeah, a couple days, I'm just like, why not? Like that should
Yeah.
be like, because you can draw up use case scenarios for this, right? And like the person that I completely disagree with politically, or this guy who's just terrible, done horrible thing, kindness for everyone always doesn't mean uh support of everyone's decisions always, or trying to agree with everyone on everything always. You know what I mean? It's just a simple starting point for what I think every human interaction should jump off of, which is, let's start from the baseline of, no matter what, I'm going to be kind to you, and then we can interact from there, right?
I think it's really important that you brought that up, because kindness also has a detoxifying effect on the person who's being kind. So you're also helping yourself, even if the person that you're being kind to, you think doesn't quote unquote deserve it. Well, you deserve it. I'll give you an example. In Ukraine right now, Russia has invaded, and it's like the worst thing you can do to a person is by invading and killing their families and all that.
Sure.
The POWs, the Russian POWs, I'll give you one quick story. A Russian POW was captured by Ukrainians recently, and they were watching cartoons with him for 2 days. And the prisoner kept saying, "Are you guys crazy? Are you just gearing me up for the torture? Just get it over with, get it over with." And at some point, the Ukrainians had to say to him, "Dude, like, what do you expect us to do? Like, we want to watch cartoons. Do you want to watch something else? Like, why would we torture you? Like, that's not normal."
Yeah.
But to the Russian, he's living in fear, thinking, well, that's what I would have done to you. But the Ukrainian's attitude is, but I wouldn't even feel good about that. Like, I don't even want to torture you. So the idea is like, if somebody would say to you, well, do you really have to be kind to people? Well, yeah, because it's healthy for you to be kind for other people.
And I think it's okay. I think it's okay to say you can be kind to everyone.
Right.
That doesn't mean that you're going to allow toxicity into your life. It doesn't mean you're going to forego any boundaries you've set for yourself personally. It just means I'm going to be kind. And if I have to walk away, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to be kind.
Yep. No, 100%. Yeah.
It's not sitting in with somebody who's a negative in your life. It's just for you. Like you said, Renee, you're uplifting yourself to a level and a standard of who you want to be as a person.
Right.
Sinking to the level of the person you're having the conversation with.
Exactly. And I do believe that it elevates all of us. I believe there's like a connected consciousness, a connected culture. The world is so interconnected right now that every little movement that it's like the butterfly effect or whatever, but it's like every little movement that you put out there, you can choose to have it be a negative thing or a positive thing. And in some way, shape, or form, it comes. I mean, I used to do like prison ministry, and people would say to me, why would you invest in people who are hurt? And I would say, first of all, most of these people are going to get back out on the streets. And I want them to be better off as when they went in, because they're going to be living next to people like me. So I want them to be, we all need to be putting kindness out there, because it elevates the entire world, which comes back to us. And I don't mean that in a karma way. I mean, literally, we have to learn how to get along. And it starts with kindness, because, and you both know, being parents, right? Like when you teach your kids, hey, you put something positive out there, you will get something positive in return. And you're actually setting the bar a little bit higher. Every generation, we want to set that bar a little bit higher.
Well, because the karma and putting it out in the universe conversation is real. And then there's also, it's a win-win, because there's also the idea of, was it Henry Ford, like the whether you think you can or you can't.
Right.
You're right.
You're right.
Like, like
positive mental attitude. Yeah.
Exactly. When you,
no matter which way what you're focused on.
When you go through that exercise of, discovering something kind for somebody that maybe you thought you couldn't be towards, I think that changes you. You start to see good, and you start to see kindness in places that maybe you were preconditioned before to see dark and to see negativity.
That's a big thing. Yeah, precondition. That's a big thing. We do. the other thing, you talk about kindness and you put kindness out there, you receive kindness back. It changes you, it changes them, but it's literally changing. Like Renee was saying, it reverberates and keeps going and keeps going, because maybe that person you were just kind to, who's just been a total jerk, and you were just super kind to them, is like, wow,
Yep.
maybe I need to change. Or maybe the total opposite. I think I'm super kind, but maybe I hurt somebody's feelings, and now I'm saying, wow, I did that. And
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person. I'm in the kindness mob. I have a level of integrity to maintain.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
I mean, I think it's phenomenal. I really do. And it's such a needed thing right now in the world. It really is.
Yeah.
It's really great that you did it. Do you have a hope or a dream or a bucket list of things or way you'd like to see it grow or change?
It grows. It just grows by itself. I just have to do it. And that's kind of the phase I'm in. A pretty rough summer, to be honest, like just in terms of our schedule and things being very busy. And then I had a couple pretty big medical crises back to back over the summer, which I've been posting to stories on TikTok. And of course the mob is like, yo, like we're out here being kind anyways, like we're not going anywhere. Like you're fine. Like take care of yourself first. Of course, they've been awesome, but I want to, because I need it. It's fun for me. People are always like, oh, we should mob Tyler for doing this for us. I'm like, no, I'm like on the front seat of the bus, every single mob. I'm the primary benefactor of every single one of these, I feel like. So no need for that. But it is, it's just like anything, sadly, it sounds kind of like, because it seems like such a great, grand, glorious, fun, world-changing thing. Why wouldn't I be down here every day for 2 hours doing this? But when you are actually a real person living a real life and need to go through the 20 nominations that came in today and pick somebody and take screenshots and then set up the lights and record it and then edit it and post it with all the different text things that we do, like it can be a lot. So at this point, super long-winded way to say that I am really just hoping to maintain, if I can maintain our relatively consistent posting schedule, it does grow every time we post a video. It just grows because it's a fun idea, right?
It is a fun idea. It's not only fun, but for me personally, and I'm sure I'm not the only one in the world or the only one on the mob. I have a lot of health issues. I'm down a lot, and it's just good medicine. We have somebody in our community named Ro, and she talks about music being medicine, and it truly is. And the kindness mob, whether you're a part of it or you're a recipient or you're just lurking from the outside in, it's good for the soul. We need it. We definitely need it. And imagine all the things we could work out today if everybody came to the table thinking, no matter what, we're going to be kind.
Oof. Yeah, that's powerful.
Imagine what we could accomplish.
Let's start with family dinners. Let's start with Thanksgiving.
Right. The people closest to you. The people closest to you.
And not fake kindness, because we've all experienced that as well.
That's actually that phrase there brings up another not criticism, but just concern that I've heard at least 4 or 5 times since I started this. Hey, yeah, good idea, I guess, but doesn't it seem kind of disingenuous? Kind of maybe fake to have just 100 people go make up something to say to somebody that they wouldn't normally have anyway. And my response to that has always been, well, that's on the mobster, because it is disingenuous if it's disingenuous. You know what I mean? But there's always something nice to say. So it's on each one of us when we go to these videos to watch it and consider what we want to say and make a nice comment. Just because somebody suggested that we go and make a nice comment doesn't make our comment any less valuable.
Right.
Right.
Well, and it's not like you're okay. If you want to be in the kindness mob, you have to go say a nice thing to every single person that I choose.
Right.
That's not how it works, right? I can look at a video and be like, I don't know, I'm not really feeling it. I
Yep.
haven't yet, because your nominations are phenomenal, but I have that choice. Nobody's standing behind me making me type on
Yeah,
the
even if
keyboard.
you just
So,
even if you just go and you just read everybody else's comments, that's
right.
medicine, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Take us a little bit through the nomination process. How does
Yeah.
that work, and how can people nominate? I'm sure a lot of people are already thinking, hey, I want to nominate a video.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple guidelines that we, like I said, just posted a couple days ago just to help kind of streamline things. Because as bad as it sounds, I'm really don't want people to self-nominate. Like, let's just keep it simple. Don't self-nominate, and don't nominate somebody that you're directly connected to in real life. Like, hey, this is my sister, spouse, this is my best friend, you know. There might be a time for that later. Right now, we're really just looking for, maybe you're like scrolling your For You page and you see a video that, like, wow, that was really cool. Or that person's got an awesome channel, but they have 200 followers, or, you know.
Yeah, I see that all the time, and I'll think, oh, this person must have 1 million followers. They must, and I'll go over and it's like 200 followers. Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, don't invest the time into it. Maybe they only post every now and then, and the algorithm doesn't.
Yeah.
But it occurred to me, you know, in sort of a metaphysical sense and actually a computer science sense, we're kind of changing the algorithm, right? We're feeding positive data in, which is changing the algorithm.
I love that.
And I know that so many different softwares and platforms actually have algorithms that try to reward. Now, Em can speak more about this, to reward some of the negativity, right? So if they get more, Em, do you want to talk a little bit about that? She's the social media maven here.
A couple of them actually got called out for doing that. I think one was TikTok, and Facebook got called out early on for doing that as well. People were, if they wanted to bump their friend or person they liked up, they were hitting the mean face, the red face.
Interesting.
They were hacking
instead of
the
hitting
native
heart
algorithm.
and loving it, because it was actually an accolade to their friend to bump them up in the algorithm. And so that has changed because of all the pressure with kids and people's putting their self-esteem out there and being judged and what have you. So a lot of that has changed now, and it is getting better. But it's nice to see something like what Tyler's doing, because like you were saying about changing the algorithm, Renee, on some place like TikTok, you can scroll along, and I've come across videos before. I actually had to learn this when I first started on TikTok, looking for guests, or, you know, looking at maybe potentially getting guests. And I would be, oh, I'm just going to go for people that have the most followers or what have you. And then I realized some of the diamonds are the ones that have 200 followers, because they're really great people. They have really great content, and they're just not living. What little bit they share is based on the amazing life they're living off the computer, you know? So definitely, don't go by followers when you're looking at somebody. I think it's great what Tyler's doing, because it's going to lift up people who otherwise are just falling between the cracks because they don't get the, you know, some of the people that have millions and millions, well deserved. I would never take that away from anybody, but some, it's like all ambulance chasers. They're there to see the train wreck, you know, and that's it. It's nice to have a positive, uplifting group to be a part of, and to be able to find, you want to find some good positive people to follow and check out, you can go to the Kindness Mob and see what videos they've done of different people.
That's a great point too. A really like amazing byproduct of the Kindness Mob is finding those kind of diamonds, those people who have those accounts that we never would have seen, you know, via the algorithm before. Like we just mobbed Alfred the Porcupine. a couple
saw
days
that
ago.
one. I love it.
They had like 200 followers. Like, we bought this house in Maine, and we had no idea when we bought it that there was a porcupine that comes into the backyard every night.
That's
expecting
fascinating.
treats.
I live in
They
Maine,
feed him.
so I was aware of Alfred.
Oh, no way. He's like
So when
a
I saw
legend.
you,
Oh,
when I
man.
saw you had chosen that one, of course I watched it, and yeah, I didn't realize they were on TikTok though. So that
I
was
saw-
really fun. And
Yeah, I
now,
saw that, and they're like, they have 200 followers, you know, like,
yeah,
That's
like
hilarious.
nobody's seeing those videos. And so it's been awesome. People who nominate, they're showing me cool accounts all the time. To double back to your question, Renee, about the nomination process, so nominate people that you don't know, maybe people who, like Alfred the Porcupine, it's just good stuff, but
love it.
only has a very small amount of followers or comments, or maybe somebody who just really, really needs it. Like somebody who is just struggling, just having a hard time. Or we've had lots of nominations for people who are being trolled, maybe like because of, getting a lot of negativity about like their physical appearance or something like that, or their beliefs or whatever. And just, again, this is not a mob of agreement. This is not a mob to try and have conversations and figure out what's right and wrong in the whole world. This is just a mob to be kind to everybody. And there's no place for body shaming, and that sort of thing on TikTok. So we've mobbed a lot of those. Just DM us. That's usually the quickest way. Or we have a link in our bio with an actual form that you can fill out if you want to nominate somebody. The biggest thing when you're nominating is please, please, please include their include their username. I don't know what it is about sharing on TikTok. I actually need to go through this exercise from a different account to the Kindness Mob and see. But I think like 7 out of 10 nominations are a link. And
they
I
wouldn't
can't
let me
click on
send
those.
you the link. They wouldn't even let me send you the link to the studio in TikTok. It kept kicking back, and that's the first time that's happened.
So people said, this is a really cool, video. Please check them out. And then it's a link, and I can't click on it. So I'll always have to respond. Awesome. What's their username?
I said, I'll send you the link. And then I sent the link, and I got the message, you violated community guidelines.
Oh, geez. Oh,
So
man.
so
You're
then
a troublemaker, You're a troublemaker.
this is how bad it is. So then I wrote, I have to email link. TikTok blocked it. And then TikTok blocked that, like, because I said link.
Whoa.
Can't win.
Literally, yeah. I was like, okay. So then I'm trying to strategically figure out how I'm going to tell him that I can't send it on TikTok.
TikTok sent me an email actually saying, hey, someone's about to email you and they seem really scammy. So be careful. Don't click on it.
We got a positive troll over here and we got a scammer over here. Oh man, this is a crazy show. Well, but this is why it's important to actually rewrite the algorithm. Every time you're having somebody come in and you're having 400 comments and you're having 100 people over here, it's almost like you're training the other algorithms. Hey, this is how you get engagement. And another cool thing too is for viewers, I would imagine, even though there's such an altruistic slant to this about kindness and helping others, you're also collating some really cool content for people, which is very important, even just for entertainment. I mean, I like to know where the cool stuff is. I mean, sometimes you're just scrolling and it's just
like Alfred.
Right. Like, how would we have ever seen that porcupine? Like, suddenly now I'm like, I need to see that. So it's almost like you're creating your own platform of entertainment, the same way that someone might scroll through cable or whatever, and they trust, CNN or whatever to give them what they enjoy. You're actually giving people content that is more valuable to their time rather than just sort of scrolling. So there's also an entertainment and a business slant here too, which I know is not your main angle, but it's almost like perfect on every level. Everybody's sort of getting what they want. So even if somebody is like, for whatever reason, a real troll and they're like, I don't want to be kind or nice. It's like, yeah, but you could find the porcupine, or you could find this other cool stuff that the other algorithm is not rewarding. You're actually, it's almost like back in the day when we had mixtapes, you'd go to school and your buddy would be like,
Yeah.
hey, let me put this in your Walkman. Like, this is a cool new band I found. And you're like,
Yeah.
wow. So it's like, that's what you're doing. You're like, hey, you want to check out this cool porcupine, that you wouldn't have heard of otherwise. So I think people who might not even be interested in anything positive, just, hey, you're going to see some really cool stuff over here.
I've never thought of it
um,
that way.
But
I'm
yeah, it's like
picturing
your best
kangaroos
friend.
in my head, Renee, right now, laughing at us because we said cassette tape and
I said
Walkman.
Walkman. And she has a 15-year-old granddaughter who's a host on Cosmos Creative Television. And she's always teaching us the cool stuff. I know you're a father, so you've heard, they get, why are you using these old terms? Come
Oh,
on.
yeah,
Get with it. Get
exactly.
with it. But yeah, you're introducing people to some really cool stuff. And so that has its own value,
Yeah, that's a really interesting thought. I've never thought of our profile as a destination, for somebody to go and scroll through and just watch some of the other ones. That's a really encouraging thing to think about.
Yeah, it's very valuable. It's why people get subscribed to like Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. Those algorithms are very powerful, and they sort of try to find what you like. Or if you're on Instagram, they try to find stuff that you're interested in. So it's very cool, because I think in today's day and age, a lot of people don't have that experience of having like a bestie sort of say, hey, like check out this really cool thing. And a lot of people feel that they're scrolling endlessly and they don't see it. We have a viewer right now who said, she goes on TikTok and she doesn't find anything of value usually. So this is a cool place where this is where the cool kids are eating lunch. They're going to talk about the cool new stuff that's out there, and it can make, your day a little bit more interesting.
By the way, as an aside, you should scroll the Kindness Mob's TikTok For You page. It is a delightful place. It is incredible. Even my personal TikTok account, where I love like funny cartoon things and different comedians and funny sketch comedy stuff. So I feel like that's a pleasant experience, but the Kindness Mob is something different. So as an encouragement to everyone, it takes maybe a little longer than if you're a fan of negativity, but TikTok is listening, and like holding on a video and selecting not interested, or hearting a video that you do like, it knows, and you can curate a really delightful experience for yourself on TikTok.
Absolutely.
Think about, it's a business like anything else. They want the viewers. They need the viewers. They need the engagement.
Yep.
And the problem is that we gave them negativity.
Yeah.
And that
we
was
showed
where
them what we
ran.
wanted.
Right.
And so now we got to turn it around and be like, no, wait. Every time somebody does that, that makes a difference.
Yep.
It makes a difference in the algorithm. And remember, like TikTok and Facebook, you're only 13 to be able to go on those sites.
So you're getting.
I am grateful that there's a lot of positive stuff as well.
Yeah. But it is one of those things where, on TikTok, they say that who you follow, if you're following someone and they're hearting videos, you'll start to see more of those videos. So it's also important who you follow. So when you follow the Kindness Mob, actually the TikTok algorithm is going to start giving you some really positive stuff. So if you're having a lot of negative stuff in your feed, check out who you're following. And then you can always counteract some of that by, if you follow Tyler, you follow the Kindness Mob, you're going to instantly get some more uplifting content in your feed, the way that algorithm works.
Yep.
But it's so great to model this, because my guess is that a lot of other groups are going to start standing up and sort of be inspired by this, because you're modeling a new way of engagement, and you're rewarding with attention, which is what the algorithm and what people respond to is what gets attention, right? Well, you're rewarding kindness and you're rewarding positivity. So you're saying to people, hey, if you want people to pay attention to you, put something positive into the world. You don't have to just get attention by being a troll or by, because a lot of these people are acting out, honestly, to just get noticed. A lot of people feel unseen. They feel unheard. And like Em said, it's 13 and up. So if you're a 13-year-old and you're not feeling, great about your experience at school or whatever, you might start putting, you're out of ideas. This is giving a template for people, young and old. This is how we do this. This is what gets attention. This is what's going to really create impact in the world. That's a very powerful statement. I can only imagine when I was 13 or whatever, coming across the kindness mob. That would have meant so much to me. That would have, it means a lot to me now, but especially for the teens, for the adolescents who are dealing with online bullying, they're dealing with 24-hour cycles of nonstop bullying, negativity. There's all kinds of crap out there. How cool is it that there's an option?
It's awesome.
I would love if more kindness mobs started. Like, please do. I'll send you the logo. Like there's no. We actually had a really exciting month. I think it was May. I had somebody reach out to me in April, and now I'd consider her a good friend. She runs a TikTok channel that's all about her being a teacher, and her @ is Serotonin Teach Baby, and she makes hilarious videos about being a teacher. Anyway, she messaged me in April and said, "Hey, could I steal your idea for the month of May and do it just for teachers?" And I'm like, the same thing I said to you earlier, like, may I please never be the only one in charge of kindness for the whole world? Like, please steal the idea. And she did. And she did it every day in the month of May, where she had a different teacher's account that was nominated, and we would go mob her. And so it was like a little short run of what we're doing. It was also very validating, because then, like, at the end of May, we're talking and she's like, "That was exhausting."
I think people don't realize what goes into it. Even just what we do to try to keep the TikTok going, because we didn't start our TikTok all that long ago. And to do the shows and the directing and the producing and all that entails, and then when the show's over and have to make a bunch of clips and get them uploaded to all of our social media platforms, it's very time consuming. It really is. So I mean, I can't imagine you have 4 kids, a job. I'm sure it's not. People think you're just going to go, it's a 2-minute clip, it's going to take you 2 minutes. You only need 2 minutes. I'm like, no, that's not how this works at all.
It's incredibly streamlined at this point, and it's still 30 minutes.
I bet.
It's really, really. I think maybe the next phase. By the way, I'm going to hit a hard pause. Julie, thank you for all the amazing comments. Is Julie a regular here?
Yes,
she is, and she's joining the mob. She just joined the mob, so she's you got a new mobster, and she said she always wanted to be a mobster, and this is a good way to do it.
I was hoping, because of like all of the amazing comments all evening, I've been meaning to shout her out for a minute. So even better to know that I might get to interact with you in the future. Thank you, Julie.
Oh, you and Julie are going to be doing a lot of cool stuff together, because she really she tries to do this. She's one of those freelancers you talked about. She comes on and she always has something positive to say. She never wants to bring anyone down, and so it's kind of kismet.
Everybody, whoever's in the live,
unconditional.
Hit up everybody. Really nice.
That's great.
That's awesome. That's really great.
I lost my train of thought.
Oh, but you were giving a shout out to Julie. Sorry.
Shout out to Julie. I think I was saying just the streamline of it. Just thank you. I'm back. The next phase for this, I think I could see that, because there are a core group of 6 or 7 people who are just there every single, within 5 minutes of me posting a mob, like, they are mobbing, and they're kind of the OGs. And I'm keeping my eyes open. I haven't made an official announcement, but like, over the next 2 or 3 months, probably need to find somebody to help with this. I think that'll be the next,
right, to do that. Like, it's hard to let your baby grow, but that's
certainly that I could certainly. I think if I was just doing the creative, and just that 30 minutes, I think I've got that on lock, and that's streamlined. It's honestly, the nomination process is one of the more time-consuming parts. Because I want to be thoughtful about what we do, and we do get a lot of nominations, and those come in the form of DMs, emails, form submissions, and even just comments. Which, by the way, everyone, if you are commenting nominations, I probably won't see them.
Do it through the TikTok. Do it absolutely
through the DM. That is the best way, or email, or the form.
Hit them up here.
but letting someone having access to those, or for getting a system set up where nominations could be forwarded, and having someone help just kind of research, vet, and consider nominations. That's potentially phase 2 for this. I could see that being a really, really helpful thing that I've been thinking about the last couple weeks. Like, it might be a choice between that and this continuing, honestly, because
It's hard.
if
I
you
don't know
add
how you
too
do it.
much, if you add too much, then you might just, collapse and not be able to do
Yeah, you don't want to
anything. And
burn
that's the
out.
danger. Exactly. That's the danger, is
Yeah.
burnout. So
I
I
mean,
could
it's
totally
lighting
see that.
your creative fire and your your lust for life and
yeah.
joy, but it can easily be extinguished if it becomes too much. Absolutely.
And every time I start to get down, we'll have 5, 6, 7, 8 mobs, where we don't have a ton of comments in the mob. I can start to get a little down, and then we always will have, a handful in a row that just blow up. We had our most commented mob ever about a month ago at 6,602 comments.
What? How is that even possible? That's shocking.
awesome.
This
That's
guy's and
absolutely
that's
shocking.
not well, my video had a ton of comments too, of course, but that guy's video went viral, and that was super fun.
That's awesome.
That was actually the first time since the very first mob we ever did. Oh, it looks like January 5th. Caitlin Sherwin, she got 3,079 comments. And
awesome.
that was the very first one. And then we've never recreated that many comments in a mob again until last month with this one. And then things slowed down towards the beginning of this month, but then we mobbed Justine Ewald last week. She's a young lady who's she's just on the grind as a musician, just performing at gigs and making reels and making TikToks and doing covers and working really, really hard. She's got a beautiful voice, and we mobbed one of her videos. She got 2,800 comments on her video last week. So it's so fun.
That is so cool. And I think it was Julie who mentioned the pay it forward movement. And for anyone, you had mentioned there was some criticism or something. Oh, it's disingenuous or whatever. Well, the pay it forward movement, like if you're in line at Dunkin' Donuts or something and you say, hey, I'm going to pay for everyone behind you. The pay it forward thing is about working with strangers, and it is about just paying it forward into the existence of the globe. It's not,
That's such a great point.
So it's a great parallel. And Julie, I really liked that, because, if someone wants to
and the
say
other
it that
thing,
way,
Renee, is just because you give or you make a positive comment or you pay it forward, you're not doing it to actually necessarily see the result.
Exactly. That's
You're doing it for the other person, for your own self to be good and know that I did put some goodness out in the world today.
Yeah.
But I may not see the results.
Absolutely.
For the kindness mob, you almost always can see the results, but that's not why you're doing it. Like if I go on and I see a video and I'm doing it, I don't always go back to see how many comments I get. I'm just happy that I was able to join in the mob.
That's really powerful. It's not like you're handing them your credit card and being like, hey, I want to get the person's coffee behind me, but can you verify that they're a Republican?
Yeah,
or that they
loses all of its
it's just about an act of kindness for everybody, right?
Awesome. That's
right.
awesome.
It's unconditional. Wow. It's unconditional love, and it's something that everybody needs. And there's that saying, where you should be kind to people because you don't know what battles they're privately battling. And that's just true. Hurt people, right? So when somebody is acting like a menace or a troll, trust me, there's something going on in their life, and kindness, you never know, can transform that negativity. It's almost like an alchemy. You might be able to put something negative in there, and something positive can bloom as long as you're adding that ingredient of kindness. So it's very important to do that.
And the antithesis of that is the fact that if you don't put kindness in and you just shut somebody off, cut them out.
Yeah.
Nothing can bloom from that.
Right.
That's it. So if you have to work together for voting or a community thing or a personal thing, you have to be able to communicate, and you have to be able to come from a point where you can listen to each other rationally and reasonably, and kindness is a perfect place to start. You don't have to agree with somebody, but let's face it, we all need each other.
I have a challenge for your audience. Go give it a week. You can even just be mean over the weekend if you want to warm up. I'm kidding. Don't do that. But start this week and try this, what they put on the screen here. Just try this kindness for everyone always. Just try this next week. In the smallest interactions that you have are going to be the most important places to test yourself with this. Like the grocery store encounters, the calls on the phone, the, family. I mean, this is big for the kids, the everything online, on Facebook, in comments. Challenge yourself with this, because it is a challenge. It has been for me, for sure.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for 7 months. Kindness for everyone always. And when you wear it on your shirt and you walk out in public, like you're announcing to the world that, hey, this is my goal. And it's going to change you.
Renee and I will be sporting ours soon.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I'm just such a fan of this. And there's even science. I mean, guys, if you want to go Google the science of kindness, they've linked so many good, beneficial health outcomes. I know a lot of therapists who tell their patients, go and volunteer, do something outside of yourself. By serving others, you actually feel better. You feel more confident. You feel more happy. So staying connected is something that's very significant and can actually, it can build you up as well. So even though you're doing it to affect others,
for your immune system, I like to say, because
literally,
what do I
yes.
do, Renee? Like every couple months or so, if I'm really feeling, people pretty much know if I'm at my lowest point, because that's when I reach out to people and remind them that I care about them, uplift them, what I like about them, whatever. Some kind of a kind message, because it makes me feel better when I can't do anything about my own situation at that moment.
Yep.
So it's uplifting for me. It makes me happy to imagine all of their, I can't find my smile on that day because I'm not feeling well. But just imagining everybody opening their mail or their messages and getting
it's exciting. Yeah.
It makes me so happy. It does. It's definitely, it's good. It's good for the immune system. It's good for the soul. It's good for the world.
I've had lots of happy, ugly tears moments, like when I'm going through people's comments, not on my video, the videos that we go and mob, like at the end of the day, when I go back to that and I see hundreds of people just saying the most genuinely wonderful things to this person, and I'm just sitting there like, that's so beautiful.
I know, right?
It's cathartic.
It is. Yeah.
It's like a cleansing cry, and you just feel better. Yeah. There's all these endorphins that, all these hormones that go off, these chemicals, these natural chemicals that where your body is rewarding itself for being kind. So we have our own sort of we have our own physical algorithm, right? So whether YouTube wants to, we're actually being taught to do this. So join the mob, everyone, and just try it. Just try it.
And the thing is, it's not just the comments online. We do this in everything in our life. You could have 550 people tell you, oh, I love that shirt, it's beautiful. And then one person is like, that looks terrible on you, and you'll never wear that shirt again. Right? Yep. That's a thought that sticks in your head. So yes, that's exactly what Renee said. The algorithm's changing for the world.
We're changing it from the inside out, from the outside in. We're just going right in. So this has been awesome. We kept you a little bit long, but I think it was well worth it. And we have some new mobsters. So everybody will be, I think we'll be coordinating a lot behind the scenes here, and you'll be seeing a lot of these people, a lot of familiar faces. So reach out to Tyler, everybody. And is there anything else you want to say, Tyler, before we wrap up?
Yeah, obviously I want to say thank you to you guys for having me on here. And I want to express one of the more consistent comments that I've left on my videos over the last couple months is this is an honor. When everybody I'll get a lot of comments, people saying, "Hey, thank you for doing this," you know, and I'm
Right.
like, it's not tongue in cheek, it's not cliche like
Mhm.
this. You have no idea how honored and how much, you know, it means to me
Right.
to be a part of this. So yeah, I'm honored to have been on your show, and yeah, I'm just honored to be a part of the Kindness Mob myself.
That's awesome. You had said earlier, I just want to say this before we go, because I meant to say it earlier. You were saying that you hoped it was organic when, in regards to somebody challenging you having your background.
Mhm.
And I can tell you that I myself, watching, never for a moment didn't think it was an organic or genuine
Yep.
from an
Mhm.
outside perspective.
Yep.
So you're doing
The world
really,
is hungry
you're
for
really,
this right
it's
now.
Yeah.
starving. Yeah,
Mhm.
Thank you,
absolutely.
Julie.
But thank you guys. Thank you, Julie, Sandy, everybody with the positive comments. And thank you,
Yes.
Replay Squad, when you watch it.
Yes, Replay Squad. Everyone watching on the Replay
Hey,
Squad, go
squad.
on over. We haven't forgotten you. It's not just about the live audience. We love all the replays. And remember, kindness for everyone. Always go and check out the merch. Go to the TikTok, of course, the Kindness Mob, and hang with Tyler and the cool kids. That's what you got to do. That's what this is all about. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much,
Good
everyone, for
night.
hanging
Thank you.
out.